Have you ever driven over a highway bridge and couldn't help but look below? Or stood on a shoreline's rocky ridge just to watch the water flow? And count yourself as one of the few with a different set of dreams, the kind that keeps you up at night, 'cause you can't wait to get to that stream. It's more than a river. It's more than the water flowing or where it's going. It's the grip on the paddle and the shit in the saddle, the V in the boulders and the lean in the shoulders. When you reach for the eddy, it doesn't get better than this. Yes, it's more, so much more than a river.
Hey everybody, welcome. We are live with Cross Currents Leadership. We are live on Facebook, Substack, and YouTube. And I'm so excited to have you all here. We're going to be here for just 15 minutes talking to paddle sports leaders, outdoor recreation leaders, and getting those golden nuggets of information that are going to help us level up what we're doing in paddle sports leadership in 2026. Since New Year's, we've been doing this twice a week, every Sunday and Wednesday. And it was a great way to spend our winter, wasn't it? Just an amazing way to come together with all these golden nuggets and great speakers sharing all kinds of information. We're going to be wrapping that schedule up at the end of March. We're going to be moving to about twice a month. So make sure you sign up for the email updates on Substack. Don't miss your favorite speakers. And let's get ready. Spring is springing. Let's get on the water and have some fun, but we can still share some information around the edges. We're going to have a good time. In the meantime, I am so stoked that with tonight's guest, Jim Coffey, thank you for taking time to come back to visit us. We started this conversation on Super Bowl Sunday, competing against Bad Bunny and the biggest football game in the world. We still held our own. I think we did a good job, but you've got updates. So we have every reason to come back together and talk more about what's happening for World Drowning Prevention Day on July 25th. And I just appreciate you taking time to do that with me tonight.
Well, it's a real honor to not only be on your show once, but to be on it twice is amazing. So thanks very much. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Well, everybody, I want you to fully appreciate. Now, Jim is a super nice guy, and he won't tell you all this, but he is internationally renowned as a swiftwater rescue instructor. He has been doing this a long time in Canada, in Mexico. Right now, he's coming to us from Peru, just came off the water today. He's a senior statesman in swiftwater rescue. He's the chair of the ACA Safety and Rescue Committee. So we couldn't have a better expert on to talk to us about this incredible event that's coming together.
Well, thanks so much. I should really have you as a publicist all the time, but yeah, I happen to be in a small town called Lunahuaná, just south of Lima, Peru. I'm teaching a water rescue instructors course, and it's amazing. This town is very similar to the village that I live in Mexico, Jalcomolco, where everything happens. The whole commerce of town is about the local river, and with that comes a certain level of responsibility and issues and problems, including one of those including drowning. That's right. And as you and I have talked about this, it's not just that your village in Mexico or this village in Peru. Like, I see this same issue happening in downtown Atlanta and on the Chattahoochee. I see this same issue happening on rivers in Appalachia. There's lots of places where we have river communities that are dealing with the responsibility of doing safety training for the local community. Correct. Yeah. And so since we spoke last, a few things that are quite exciting that have happened is that we formed an affiliate membership with the ACA under the guise of the ACA's Safety and Rescue Instructor Alliance. And so with that, we were able to apply to the ACA for a grant, which is sponsored by LL Bean. And we're very excited that we were awarded a $1,500 grant to help us, produce materials that will then be shared literally around the world on July 25th, International Drowning Prevention Day.
Well, I just love it so much. Now, I know you were telling me some very sad news about here in the village where you're teaching, also in the village where you live. There have been more drownings.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, you know, we have in these communities such a great resource of people who are very water aware, and then other people who come to visit these communities who really aren't, and they see all the activity around the water and they want to get involved, but because they don't have that type of background, they're very susceptible to, you know, to being on that drowning continuum. And so with that, you know, with all the benefits of being a community based on the water and the commercial aspect of that, which is whitewater rafting, where in both of these communities, there's also a level of responsibility. And these communities are really keen to level up and to be able to provide the best combination of information, but also action to, you know, to stop that drowning continuum in its tracks, and hopefully be able to resuscitate people in the event that they're in that process.
And you gave me a drowning statistic that blew my mind. Can you remind me, like, how frequently around the world we're seeing folks drown?
Yeah, more than one person every 2 minutes is drowning.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so, and that number is just going up. And it starts primarily with kids. And a lot of the problems with kids is that they end up being unsupervised. So mom or dad sitting around the pool while on their phone or having a beer or whatever isn't really the level of supervision that's needed. But the other group, which is very common, is young males, and mostly young males between 16 and 26 years old, primarily that aren't wearing flotation life jackets or PFDs, and often have some form of intoxication. Another very interesting statistic that comes up is that 10% of people who drown are in fact rescuers, drowning people or trying to rescue someone. And so there's a big push forward that, although there's not an official statistic of this, is that rescuers wearing a life jacket is virtually zero. And so when we are looking at rescue near the side of the river in a busy community, just the fact of having the rescuers wearing a PFD saves up to 10% of all those drownings.
Wow. So that's powerful. Okay. So let's talk about what's coming together for July 25th. Now, this is World Drowning Prevention Day on July 25th. And you've already piloted how to do this. You taught that class in Mexico in December that was so successful. And so we know you've got like a standard 2-hour curriculum that all your ACA safety and rescue instructors and other ACA instructors helping them are going to be leading with. Can we talk about what that programming is going to involve?
Sure. So as mentioned, we have a standardized curriculum, and we're very fortunate. You know, our committee for safety and rescue in the ACA really has some elite knowledge and skills with that. So we have 2 doctors who are part of the Wilderness Medical Association, a combination of Dr. Stephanie LaRue and Dr. Chris Davis have helped put together our drowning workshop, and with help some other amazing people, Robin Pope, Justin Pageant, Nate Ostis. I happen to be a bit of a big mouth, so my job has been in promoting that, which has been tested and written by, you know, people with a high level of medical expertise. So the idea is that we give out to all the instructors what that workshop looks like in point form. There's 7 key points that we want each of the instructors to be able to deliver. And then it's a matter of getting those people divided into groups. We normally try to have groups of different types. So maybe some kayakers with some people from professional rescue services joined together with some moms and dads and just other people from the community, so that they can all help each other in the process of the clinic. In our last clinic, we sent out, we had 150 people. We had 17 instructors from 3 different countries speaking a variety of different languages. And the only sort of concern or comment that we had from the participants was they wished the clinic was longer. And this is really quite interesting because in our little village of Halcomolco at 6 o'clock, we started at 4, we were finishing at 6. It's starting to get dark, and people from our community are not used to being in the water, especially if it's a little bit cool. So although they were concerned that it was ending a little early, they were all shivering at that point in time, trying to, wanting to do more, but realizing that it was time to wrap up. And what our big goal is, Andrew, is we want to train 1,000 people in one day. And ideally, we'd like to do that in 10 different countries or more. And so we're really reaching out to people from around the world who want to be involved in this, regardless of what language you speak. We have information in both English and Spanish. We can develop French and German or Japanese or Chinese, whatever that happens to be, is that we want people from around the world to come together on July 25th, which is International Drowning Prevention Day, and train at least 1,000 people. That's our goal.
I love
and
it.
if we do that this
I love
year and next year, 10 years from now, that'll be 10,000 people that we've trained in these, state-of-the-art life-saving techniques.
Right. Very much so. Okay. So now talk to me about, you mentioned that you all formed the Alliance, the Instructor Alliance, and you got the LL Bean grant. That's going to help fund some of these digital materials. That's going to be amazing. What are some of the other partners that have come on board?
Sure. So again, we're very honored. The U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary has come on as a partner, which is very exciting for us. They have quite large outreach, and what their whole goal is boating safety and to try to prevent drowning. So they're a very appropriate partner. And the other is the Wilderness Medical Society. And so that then also gives an extra level of credence and support of what our main curriculum is about. And our curriculum is a little bit different. If someone takes an urban CPR course, they'll be directed that we really want to do compressions first, followed by airway and breathing, or CAB. And for us with drowning, we realized that drowning isn't so much a lung problem or a heart problem. It's an oxygenation to the brain problem. And so instead, what we do, in case of drowning, when we're trying to put in those resuscitation efforts, it's back to the older school of airway, big focus on breathing, and then circulation. And with that early oxygenation, that we hope to be able to reverse that cycle.
Got it. Well, we have put together, I know your team is continuing to put together resources. And I put some links in the show notes. So guys, there's a whole website that they're keeping up to date with the information about how this event is coming together. That's linked in the show notes with information about World Drowning Prevention Day. There is a form that if you are an instructor or a volunteer who wants to be part of this 2-hour curriculum on July 25th, anywhere in the world, go ahead and fill out that form so that you'll be on the email list so that they can reach out to you with all the details. And I also linked in the show notes our first conversation when Jim and I talked on Super Bowl Sunday. That includes information on that class in Mexico, some photos, the video, and all the stuff that we knew from the very beginning. Instead of just getting the updates, if you want to see the whole story, feel free to link to any of those to get more information. Now, Jim, as we get closer to July 25th, I know some folks have already signed up. We're going to get more tonight. We'll get more all this week as the clips come out. When should they expect to hear from you? When should they think
Perfect.
Something's wrong if they haven't heard from you?
Yeah, great question. So we're going to be responding back to everyone on May the 1st. So a little bit more than a month left. What we're trying to do is just collect a team from around the world that we can then say, okay, we're going to now break this down into different chunks, et cetera, that's going to be most manageable to be able to get the information to the right people and get things rolling from there. So what we're really after right now is getting sort of critical mass of volunteers. And once we have that critical mass of volunteers, we'll then start giving out the different portions of information so that we're not having to repeat ourselves by getting it out now and then having more people join in and more people join in. So it's really important for us that if people want to be involved, sign up and sign up now. Okay. You'll then get information by May the 1st to then start rolling so that we have everything well prepared and able to deliver July 25th, 2026, World International Drowning Prevention Day.
I love it. So now I'm going to go a little off script, so don't hate me. As a perennial organizer, my thought is if somebody thinks they have a venue and a team and want to be involved, maybe they should just go ahead and save the date for the afternoon of July 25th at that venue and get your team engaged and just tell everybody to put a block on your calendar and save the date. Is that a good idea?
Absolutely. That's the date that we're trying to push this. It's a Saturday this year that we're trying to have everything happen sort of all together so we can collect that 1,000 people all in one day.
Excellent. Well, I just love having you on board. I love being a part of whatever small part I can play in the success of this movement. I love it so much. I'm going to give our audience a few other reminders on other topics while we've got them here. First of all, just for everybody who joined us a few weeks ago, and we talked about if you're an already certified ACA instructor, particularly level 1, level 2, and you want to be able to deliver a professional certification for paddle sports facilitators, okay? Then if you're a level 1 or level 2 canoe, kayak, SUP instructor, fishing instructor, you can get an endorsement to deliver this professional certification. It's called the Smart Start Instructor Endorsement. Jeff Atkins is going to be teaching that with Cross Currents Leadership on Tuesday night. This is your last chance to enroll. That's linked in the show notes. If you want to enroll to get that instructor endorsement, it'll be a Zoom class because you've already done the on-water portion when you got certified as an instructor. So come join us if you want to get that instructor endorsement and be able to deliver an entry-level credential in your community. Our next live conversation is actually with Jeff Atkins. We're going to do that Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for just 15 minutes. He's going to give us an update on the new ACA leader guide pathway. So all the folks, now that spring is springing, now that we're thinking about getting on the water, all the folks that you know that like lead trips and lead groups, and they have multi-craft on their trips, and they need some specific leadership knowledge to do that well, but they don't necessarily need to be an instructor. There's now a path for them. So come listen to Jeff. Let him give you the updates on the options for that program. That'll be Wednesday night. And finally, I want to make sure as we're wrapping up these twice a week live streams at the end of the month, don't miss your favorite information. Don't miss the data that you need. Don't miss the speakers you want to catch. Sign up for the Cross Currents Leadership Substack. That's how you get the email updates. That's how you stay informed, even as we all get crazy busy over the summer. Because you can always just catch up on it when you catch up on your email. So don't miss out. Make sure you're signing up for those so that you get those over the summer. And I want to give my heartfelt gratitude for any of you who chose to upgrade from the free subscription on Substack and help keep me caffeinated, help contribute to the work that we're doing in the community here, help contribute to the work Cross Currents Leadership does as we're volunteering with the Coast Guard Auxiliary, as we're volunteering at the Paddle Sports Trade Coalition, as we're volunteering at NASBLA. You guys supporting us and allowing us to go live, allowing us to throw in a little extra change this direction, that helps. So thank you so much for your support. Free subscription's great too. Don't miss the information just because you didn't sign up. Anyway, I'll see you guys all on Wednesday when we talk to Jeff. And Jim, thank you so much. Calling in from Peru, above and beyond. We're going to make this July 25th just incredible.
Sounds great. Thanks so much, Andrea. Much appreciated.